the ranger. Let's see what we can get into, Nancy. Whoops.
The boat's full of water. I need to bail out the boat.
Do it by hand. Crap! Okay. Is there a bucket in the shed? Yes. It was right there. Do we use the siphon? Alright. Nope. Just inhale more pesticide. Well, Nancy. What are we doing? Nope.
These look like dog
Oh,
tracks.
shit. We should have paid attention. Oh, the woofers! But there is a bucket. Yay! Oh, the babies. Alright. Do we try the screwdriver on the busted lock? Yeah! Ooh, what we got here? Respirator and gloves. That's kind of spooky. Hammer and nails. We will need that for when the apocalypse comes and we have to board up the windows to protect ourselves from the nuclear winter. Bet you didn't remember that was a Nancy Drew. Okay, life vest on. Let's get out of here.
The spark plug is missing. I gotta have some torque.
Nancy, amateur sleuth detective and small engine repair woman.
The spark plug is missing.
Okay. Shit. Back to the tool shed? Wrong way. Anything?
Those look too rotten.
Oh, that's neat. Little compass action. Not rushing you or telling you to stop, just want to mention raid so we don't forget. What? Are we being raided? Huh? Raid? What are you talking about? Are we going to be? What do you mean? What? I don't understand. No, we will raid at the end of stream. Got you. Oh, I don't know how to do that. Who are we raiding? Oh, is there somebody else streaming Nancy Drew? Who is that? Is it someone that you know? 5389. That is one thing that they definitely upgraded with time is having a smartphone.
Hello? Hey, Sally, it's Nancy.
Nancy, hi. How's it going?
Your outboard motorboat is missing a spark plug. Is there one around here by any chance?
I wouldn't know a spark plug if I swallowed one whole. But
I'm
you
not
need
shocked.
that boat, Nancy. Right now, it's your lifeline. You can't use your car, and believe me, you can't walk anywhere because all the paths around the house end in this thick, horrible brush. You've got to get it fixed. Wait a minute. The bird watcher, he's got a boat. Maybe you could borrow his spark plug or something. Go down the path that's to the right as you look out toward the lake from the house, and you'll eventually see his observation platform. Try him at night. He never seems to be around during the day.
Talk to you later.
Thanks again, Nancy.
Right. Don't like that guy. Man, this is a lot of bleach you got sitting around. That seems a little excessive for just an old cabin. Whee! Do you mean we gotta go sleepy time? I don't think it anticipated us. Yeah, different Nancy. And no, not someone I know. Very cool. We'll definitely do that. I'm glad you said something. Let's go take a nappy pie. Have a snooze, Nancy. You did absolutely nothing today. Whee! Asshole.
Well, it's Miss Nancy Drew.
Well.
Does that mean you'd like me to call you Mr. Red Knot?
All right then. Hello, Nancy.
Full of sass.
Now put a muffler on it, would ya? I just heard a cerulean warbler.
Really? Are they rare?
Something tells me they're gonna be with you around. You didn't come up here to chit-chat, did you?
Do you know much about
Fine.
outboard motors?
To the point.
Sure do. Only type of motorized vehicle that's allowed on Moon Lake. Heck, if it were up to me, I'd ban them too. Have everybody get around by canoe. Nothing like the threat of physical activity to keep tourists away.
Why don't you
Well.
like tourists?
I came to see birds, not people.
Birds!
The more people there are in a forest, the fewer birds there are. It's a fact of life. Reason I like to come here is because nobody else does. It's perfect. Not a decent grocery store, restaurant, or motel for miles.
Who is this guy? The bird watcher. He's pretty sus.
There's no place nearby
Yeah.
that sells boat parts? Sally's outboard is missing a spark plug.
I might be able to help you out. After all, I was a Boy Scout. Be prepared.
Road Rash, if you're still here, what a creep. Yep. Who does this guy remind you of? In about 10 years.
You mean you have a spark plug I could buy?
Well, just so happens I've got 2 spark plugs right here in my pocket. Question is, if I give you one, what do I get for it? I don't need cash, but maybe you could take a few pictures for me. Know
What?
how to use a digital camera?
Of what? Of what? Of what? What? I didn't mention any names, and neither will you, apparently. That's alright. But you know who I'm talking about. Alright, he's asking Nancy for feet pics.
Sure. What would you like me to take pictures of?
Birds, of course. There's a couple of birds I'm supposed to take pictures of for PEPSOB. That's People for the Preservation and Study of Birds. You
Birds.
can recognize them by their songs, which are on this tape,
Ooh.
which you can play on my cassette player, which you're gonna have to get from M's Emporium as soon as you get your boat fixed. Think you can handle that?
I know I can.
Here's everything you'll need. M's Emporium is up lake on the west side. Not that I'm trying to get you out of my hair or anything, but try not to come pestering me till you're done, okay? One more thing. You smoke?
Oh! You smoke something else, Nancy? Only when I'm on fire.
Only when I'm on fire.
Oh, you're a spunky one, aren't you? Well, these woods may not look it, but they're tinder dry. One lit match, and the best bird habitat on the East Coast will go up in smoke. So watch what you do.
Okay.
Because if anything like that happens, I won't be looking for birds anymore. I'll be looking for you. Watch
Whoa.
yourself out there.
I do not want to talk to you anymore, dude. Right. What is that the camera? Okay, yeah, we need to get a tape player. Right. Got our lovely little to-do list now. Alright. Oh, whoops. Spark plug. In. Plus O minus plus. I don't know what's the plus and the minus. Is that right? Oops. Hey, we got it. We're gonna go. Whee! Look at us go! Little boat Nancy. You went psycho in Cyberpunk for the first time. Oh my gosh, I missed it. Did you make some clips at least? Worms! You did. It wasn't much. Well, you know Adam Smasher, so. Buy your fishing license here. Alright. Let's talk to this fine lady at her establishment.
Hey there! Welcome to M's Emporium. I'm
Ah!
Griffin.
Ah, Emily Griffin. Woo!
My name's Nancy Drew. I'm staying out at the old Malone place. You know,
Turtleneck?
the house Sally McDonald bought.
All right.
Now what's she doing inviting guests out to that old dump?
She's got a little problem she's hoping I can solve. But right now, I need a chainsaw.
A chainsaw?
A tree fell down in the driveway behind my car, and now I'm blocked in.
I'll get Tucker Davis to take care of it.
Tucker
I'll
Davis.
warn you though, Tucker tends to do things in his own sweet time. So
With a
I'll
name
fill
like
in
Tucker
with you.
Davis, I don't expect anything less.
The ghost dog scared her off.
I told her. I said,
You
Sally,
told her.
that old house is gonna be nothing but trouble. And sure enough, Malone's hounds have come back.
Ooh.
Just when we all thought they were finally resting in peace.
Oh, not the woofers.
Have you ever seen the dogs?
Nope. Don't want to, neither. Just hearing them howl's bad enough. Scares the bejeebies out of me.
The bejabies.
When was the last time they appeared?
Seems like they show up every time somebody buys the place. So the last time would have been 10, 15 years ago.
I caught a strange man prowling around last night. He called himself Red Knot.
The bird watcher.
Ooh.
Comes in every so often to stock up on that weirdo food he eats. You know how them tree hugger types are.
Squeeze me? Can you elaborate?
It seemed to me that he was more into watching birds than hugging trees.
Yeah, well, whatever. One thing's for sure. He's gonna wind up with a dose of buckshot in his hind end if he keeps tramping through people's yards making noises like he just popped out of a UFO.
I like you, Em.
Mr. Knott did me a favor, and in return he asked me to pick up a cassette player from you.
Oh, yeah. I got it right here. Thought maybe the old coot had forgotten he left it here. What else can I do you for?
What
These
else?
so-called ghost dogs left very real paw prints. I saw some near the cemetery that's by the Malone house. Have you ever been there?
Can't say as I have. Poking around cemeteries ain't exactly a hobby with me.
Missing out.
Does the name Waldo Matthias mean anything to you?
Can't say as it does.
Where do you find your... Achoo!
Bless you. It's all the dust. Sometimes I think it grows on this stuff.
Some of those old bottles are beautiful. Where'd you get them?
Found 'em. See, back in the days of Prohibition, that old Malone place used to be Party Central. Only way to get to and from back then was by boat. And when those boats dumped, on account of bad weather or bad driving or the feds suddenly showing up, well, everything from diamond necklaces to full bottles of illegal booze sank to the bottom of the lake.
Well, this one is set in Moon Lake, Pennsylvania. It's up on the East Coast somewhere. I think it's in Pennsylvania, maybe.
So, it's finders keepers, huh?
That's right. See, recovering objects from the lake bed is illegal. According to Squeaky Wheel Acres, dragging the lake for artifacts was upsetting its delicate eco-balance. So thanks mostly to his constant squawking, the state banned it.
Squeaky Wheel Acres?
Jeff Akers. local
Jeff
park ranger.
Akers.
I keep telling him all this stuff washed up on shore. But does that snobby little stickler for rules believe me?
Sounds like you aren't real fond of Ranger Acres.
Jeff Akers could take all his precious rules and regulations and take a flying leap.
Whoa.
Now, I got nothing against getting more customers in here, mind you. But I kind of like Moon Lake the way it is. Small, quiet, out of the way. But Jeff Akers, why, there's nothing he'd like
Oops.
better than to see all the lake and all the property around it turned into one big, noisy, jam-packed state park.
Why would he want that?
He's the type of guy who likes to boss people around, makes them feel important. So if the park got way bigger
That's
and was
why.
crawling with tourists, why, instead of giving out maybe one ticket for littering every 2 days, he'd be giving out 12 tickets every 2 hours. He'd be in heaven. Well, hey, I'm sure you got better things to do than getting your ear chewed off by yours truly.
I need to buy something.
You want it, I got it. As long as you pay cash, that is.
That's just it. I'm running kind of low on cash. Would it be possible to start a line of credit?
My daddy always said, neither a borrower nor a lender be. But I'll tell you what, seeing as how you're a friend of Sally's, and seeing as how I got some things around here that could use doing, I guess we could work something out.
Hey.
What is it you need?
Do you sell sandpaper by any chance?
I do, but Mr. Birdbrain was in last week and cleaned me out. Said he was tired of that observation platform of his giving him splinters in his hinter regions.
Think I could get some from him?
He's your only hope. But you better ask him for it quick. That deck of his is pretty big, and those squares I sold him are pretty small.
Guess I'll see you later.
I guess you will.
That fucking guy. By a piece of the past. 80 years ago, Moon Lake was crawling with gangsters, flappers, and jazz musicians from the big city. They traveled to and from parties by boat, and were so rich that if they accidentally dropped something in the lake, they wouldn't even bother going after it. Well, each item you see here was fished by legal means out of Moon Lake and most likely belonged to some wealthy big shot. Don't go home without buying at least one genuine artifact from the Roaring Twenties. Okay. Alright. Park Ranger McButthead. It is. Jackie Daytona. This is simply how people speak in Tucson, Arizona. Oh. There's so many fun things to look at.
I probably shouldn't mess around with this without Ranger Akers' permission.
Well, fine. Oh. Fascinating factoids. We'll probably have to learn things there. Let's talk to the ranger, and then we might call the stream there and go into a raid.
Hello, can I help you?
Hi, my name's Nancy.
Hello.
I'm visiting Sally McDonald. Are you the park ranger?
Park Ranger Jeff Akers, at your service. Let's see, Sally McDonald is the woman who bought the old Malone place.
That's her. Unfortunately, she seems to have developed a problem of the canine kind.
Don't tell me she believes all that ghost dog stuff.
Does that mean you don't?
There's always a logical explanation for everything. Whatever's out there, I'm sure they're no more and no less than exactly what they look and sound like. Dogs. Living, breathing, very noisy.
Stinky,
Dogs.
silly, wiggle waggle tail, farting dogs.
Why do you think dogs would attack Sally's house?
Dogs can be trained to do almost anything.
Any idea what would make a dog's eyes glow yellow?
Something in their diet, maybe? Some oddball vitamin or protein.
What?
As a park ranger, don't you want to know for sure what's behind these dog attacks?
Do you always ask this many questions?
As a matter of fact, I do.
I'm a very
Right, I'm
busy man,
Nancy
Mr.
Drew.
But I am here to serve the public.
Do you have something I could use to test the well water at Sally's?
Sure do. Simple to use, too. Just pump some water into this vial, return the sample to me, I'll send it off, and in a day or two, you'll find out whether or not your water's fit to drink.
Thanks.
Does everyone out here have a well?
Everyone who doesn't want to die of thirst does. Hooking up to a municipal water supply is out of the question. Too expensive.
This place isn't exactly your ordinary ranger station, is it?
It's also the Moon Lake Post Office, and it's the unofficial Moon Lake Museum of Factual and Natural History. I've lived here all my life, so I can't help but feel obligated to protect not only the area's flora and fauna, but also its past.
Well, la-ti-da.
Which is apparently rather colorful.
As a member of the law enforcement community, I prefer to dwell on the positive aspects of history instead of on the activities of a bunch of glorified thugs.
Whoa.
As an officer of the law,
Yeah,
can you think of anyone
dude.
who might want to scare Sally off her property?
The woman who owns the shop across the lake? Emily Griffin? I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure she's been dragging the lake in front of Malone's house for artifacts, which is illegal. It would be a lot easier for her to do her dirty work if nobody was living there.
Do you think it would be best if Malone's house was just torn down and forgotten?
Not necessarily. It's hard to ignore its potential as a tourist attraction. And if that's what it takes to draw more people to Moon Lake, I'm a reasonable man.
What do you know about the cemetery behind the Malone house?
People are buried there. Beyond that, what's to know?
Is Malone buried there?
That's the rumor.
The inscription on one of the tombstones reads Waldo Matthias. Does that name ring any bells?
Not in my steeple.
Would you mind mailing this letter for me?
Not at all.
Would it be okay if I looked around?
Please do. And if you have any questions, any more questions, just ask.
Thanks for all your help.
Always a pleasure. Oh, and one last thing. The deer mouse population has boomed this year, so please take precautions if you're cleaning out any area where they may have nested. They can carry some nasty diseases.
Thanks for the tip, Ranger Akers.
Something like that. Did we give him our letter? I guess that's a letter we needed to mail.
You're back.
Thanks for all your help.
Not a problem.
Thanks. Let's see. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, Ranger Acres. Is there a dog here? Wait a minute. That's a snoozing spot and a bone in a bowl.
You're back.
Oops.
Thanks for all your help.
That's why I'm here.
That's a little sus, mister. Let's save. We're just gonna save over Naughty Woofers. Alright, folks. Thank you for joining us on another Spooky Sunday. Again, sad about the classroom. We didn't have any big frights this time. But it happens sometimes. We'll try to figure out the classrooms. Since I paid $6.99 for it, I would really like for it to work. That would be nice. Thanks again, ghosties and ghouls. Ooh, I hope you did enjoy us. We've started our Nancy Drew Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake journey. Wow. And I think we're going to do a raid. Road Rash is going to handle that. I don't know what to do. But join us again next weekend for Spooky Sunday. It may be a little bit more of a toned down one. We may stick to what we know, stick to some Nancy Drew, because we have a wedding to be at next weekend. And we might be kind of pooped after that. But we're going to try and stick to it and continue with Spooky Sundays. Thanks for joining us. This is fun. It's like coming home. I love some Nancy Drew. It's just, it's always a good time. It's one of my favorites. Really takes me back. Once again, if you have any suggestions for what we should play for a Spooky Sunday, or any of our Indie Wednesday streams or anything like that, let us know. Like, subscribe, do all the things, and we'll see you next time. You'll see Road Rash on Indie Wednesday. Woo! Have a good night.